I am sitting in the dark right now. My hands are literally trembling as I type this out, because what just dropped in the wrestling world today has completely shattered everything I thought I knew about WWE in 2026. The New Day is gone. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, two of the most beloved tag team legends in the history of this industry, mutually parted ways with WWE on the 2nd of May, walking away from a company they gave their entire souls to for over a decade. And now, the one man whose reaction nobody saw coming has finally opened his mouth. The tribal chief, Roman Reigns, the head of the table himself. And what he had to say, oh my friend, buckle up, because this is about to get biblical. Before we get into all of it, if you are new here, you need to hit that subscribe button right now because we are Wrestling Zone Insider, the channel that never sleeps, never blinks, and never misses a single thing happening inside and outside that squared circle. We break it down faster, deeper, and harder than anyone else on this platform. Welcome to the family. Now let us get into this chaos. Let us set the scene. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, two men who signed brand new WWE contracts as recently as October 2025, deals that were reportedly worth well into the 7 figures annually and were structured to run all the way through 2030, chose to walk away. They walked away from guaranteed money, from job security, from a company they had called home for 16 years. Why? Because TKO, the corporate machine now running WWE, came to them and said they needed to restructure those deals. New terms, less favorable, take it or leave it. A new day, they looked TKO dead in the eyes and said, we will leave it. Kingston and Woods asked for their release. WWE granted it. And just like that, the most entertaining, most creative, most joyfully chaotic tag team of the modern era was gone. Now here is where it gets absolutely insane, because this departure did not happen in a vacuum. This happened during a wave of WWE cuts that has left the locker room shaking. We are talking Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, the entire Wyatt Six faction wiped out completely, the Motor City Machine Guns both released, Tonga Loe and JC Machio from the MFT faction also shown the door. This is a post-WrestleMania 42 roster purge unlike anything we have seen in years, and the body count keeps rising. The mood backstage, from everything being reported, is a mixture of grief and quiet fury. People who thought they had security suddenly do not. People who signed extensions are now wondering if those extensions mean anything at all. And that brings us to Roman Reigns, the newly crowned WWE World Heavyweight Champion, fresh off his victory over Centimeter Punk at WrestleMania 42, a man who is currently navigating his own complicated relationship with TKO and WWE scheduling. Reigns, who has been pulled from all 4 of his advertised June Raw dates just this week, breaking a promise he personally made on the post-WrestleMania show about staying active through the summer, has now spoken. And the energy in his voice when he addressed the New Day's departure was one that sources are describing as genuinely emotional, almost disbelieving. The tribal chief, a man who projects nothing but power and control, was caught off guard. He reportedly could not believe that a company would let talent of that caliber, talent that loyal, talent that decorated and that loved by the fans, simply walk out the door over restructured deal terms. Now understand the historical weight of what we are witnessing here. This is the Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty moment of an entire generation, except this time it is not one partner betraying another. It is an entire corporate structure failing the people who built it. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are to this era of WWE Tag Team Wrestling what Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard were to the Four Horsemen era. They are foundational. They carried SmackDown and Raw on their backs through some of the leanest creative years this company has ever seen. They brought genuine joy to arenas all over the world. And they did it with pancakes and a trombone and pure unfiltered charisma that nobody could manufacture in a boardroom. When Roman Reigns watched that happen, when he processed that information that these men, who just won titles at WrestleMania 41, were now alumni, you could hear the disbelief radiating off of him. Reigns himself is walking a tightrope right now. His WWE contract expires after WrestleMania 42. He has publicly stated he wants to do both wrestling and Hollywood simultaneously, starring as Akuma in the live-action Street Fighter film due in October. But he is also watching his colleagues disappear one by one, watching promises made in contract negotiations evaporate, watching TKO prioritize restructuring over loyalty. And every single time he stands in front of that camera, that full-throated, low-voltage growl in his voice when he says something serious, that deliberate, measured cadence that makes every word feel like a verdict, that voice was being deployed not in triumph this week but in genuine disbelief. The tribal chief, who has seen everything, who has outlasted everyone, looked at the situation and said he could not believe it. The parallels to the late 1990s are impossible to ignore. When Steve Austin watched his peers get misused and released during the Monday Night Wars, he channeled that frustration into a character that became the most profitable act in wrestling history. Roman Reigns is at that crossroads right now. Does he look at what happened to New Day, at what is happening to his locker room, and use it as fuel? Or does this accelerate his departure from a machine that is cannibalizing its own history? What I need to know from you is this. Do you think Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods made the right call walking away from WWE, or did they leave too much money and legacy on the table by refusing TKO's restructured deal? For Wrestling Zone Insider, this is your boy signing off.